Beginning our week 26 lecture, we'll start with our story.
Chapitre 15. La 6e planète était une planète 10 fois plus vaste. Elle était habitée par un vieux monsieur qui écrivait d'énormes livres. « Tiens, voilà un explorateur !» s'écria-t-il quand il aperçut le petit prince. Le petit prince s'assit sur la table et souffla un peu. Il avait déjà tant voyagé. « D'où viens-tu » lui dit le vieux monsieur. « Quel est ce gros livre » dit le petit prince. « Que faites-vous ici ?»« Je suis géographe » dit le vieux monsieur. « Qu'est-ce qu'un géographe ?»« C'est un savant qui connaît où se trouvent les mers, les fleuves, les villes, les montagnes et les déserts. »« Ça, c'est bien intéressant, » dit le petit prince. « Ça, c'est enfin un véritable métier. » Et il jeta un coup d'œil autour de lui sur la planète du géographe. Il n'avait jamais vu encore une planète aussi majestueuse. « Elle est bien belle, votre planète. Est-ce qu'il y a des océans ?»« Je ne puis pas le savoir, » dit le géographe. « Hein ?» Le petit prince était déçu. « Et des montagnes ?»« Je ne puis pas le savoir, » dit le géographe. « Et des villes, et des fleuves, et des déserts ?»« Je ne puis pas le savoir non plus, » dit le géographe. « Mais vous êtes géographe ?» ?»« C'est exact, » dit le géographe. « Mais je ne suis pas explorateur. Je manque absolument d'explorateurs. Ce n'est pas le géographe qui va faire le compte des villes, des fleuves, des montagnes, des mers, des océans et des déserts. Le géographe est trop important pour flâner. Il ne quitte pas son bureau. Mais il y reçoit les explorateurs. Il les interroge et il prend en note leurs souvenirs. Et si les souvenirs de l'un d'entre eux lui paraissent intéressants, le géographe fait faire une enquête sur la moralité de l'explorateur. Pourquoi ça ? Parce qu'un explorateur qui mentirait entraînerait des catastrophes dans les livres de géographie, et aussi un explorateur qui boirait trop. Pourquoi ça ? Fit le petit prince. Parce que les ivrognes voient double. Alors le géographe noterait 2 montagnes, là où il n'y en a qu'une seule. Je connais quelqu'un, dit le petit prince, qui serait mauvais explorateur. C'est possible. Donc, quand la moralité de l'explorateur paraît bonne, on fait une enquête sur sa découverte. On va voir ? Non, c'est trop compliqué. Mais on exige de l'explorateur qu'il fournisse des preuves. S'il s'agit par exemple de la découverte d'une grosse montagne, on exige qu'il en rapporte de grosses pierres. Le géographe soudain s'émut. Mais toi, tu viens de loin. Tu es explorateur. Tu vas me décrire ta planète. Et le géographe, ayant ouvert son registre, tailla son crayon. On note d'abord au crayon les récits des explorateurs. On attend, pour noter à l'encre, que l'explorateur ait fourni des preuves. « Alors » interrogea le géographe. « Oh, chez moi » dit le petit prince. « Ce n'est pas très intéressant, c'est tout petit. J'ai 3 volcans, 2 volcans en activité et un volcan éteint. Mais on ne sait jamais. »« On ne sait jamais, » dit le géographe. « J'ai aussi une fleur. »« Nous ne notons pas les fleurs, » dit le géographe. « Pourquoi ça ? C'est le plus joli. »« Parce que les fleurs sont éphémères. »« Qu'est-ce que signifie éphémère ?»« Les géographies, » dit le géographe, « sont les livres les plus précieux de tous les livres. Elles ne se démodent jamais. Il est très rare qu'une montagne change de place. Il est très rare qu'un océan se vide de son eau. Nous écrivons des choses éternel. Mais les volcans éteints peuvent se réveiller, interrompit le petit prince. Qu'est-ce que signifie éphémère? Que les volcans soient éteints ou soient éveillés, ça revient au même pour nous autres, dit le géographe. Ce qui compte pour nous, c'est la montagne. Elle ne change pas. Mais qu'est-ce que signifie éphémère? Répéta le petit prince qui, de sa vie, n'avait renoncé à une question une fois qu'il l'avait posée. Ça signifie qui est menacé de disparition prochaine. Ma fleur est menacée de disparition prochaine? Bien sûr. Ma fleur est éphémère, se dit le petit prince, et elle n'a que 4 épines pour se défendre contre le monde, et je l'ai laissée toute seule chez moi. Ce fut là son premier mouvement de regret. Mais il reprit courage. Que me conseillez-vous d'aller visiter? Demanda-t-il. La planète Terre, lui répondit le géographe. Elle a une bonne réputation. Et le petit prince s'en fut, songeant à sa fleur. Chapitre 16. La 7e planète fut donc la Terre. La Terre n'est pas une planète quelconque. On y compte 111 rois, en n'oubliant pas, bien sûr, les rois nègres, 7000 géographes, 900 000 businessmen, 7 millions et demi d'ivrognes, 311 millions de vaniteux, c'est-à-dire environ 2 milliards de grandes personnes. Pour vous donner une idée des dimensions de la Terre, je vous dirai qu'avant l'invention de l'électricité, on y devait entretenir, sur l'ensemble des 6 continents, une véritable armée de 462 511 allumeurs de réverbères. Vu d'un peu loin, ça faisait un effet splendide. Les mouvements de cette armée étaient réglés comme ceux d'un ballet d'opéra. D'abord venait le tour des allumeurs de réverbères de Nouvelle-Zélande et d'Australie. Puis ceux-ci, ayant allumé leurs lampions, s'en allaient dormir. Alors entraient à leur tour dans la danse les allumeurs de réverbères de Chine et de Sibérie. Puis eux aussi s'escamotaient dans les coulisses. Alors venait le tour des allumeurs de réverbères de Russie et des Indes, puis de ceux d'Afrique et d'Europe, puis de ceux d'Amérique du Sud, puis de ceux d'Amérique du Nord. Et jamais ils ne se trompaient dans leur ordre d'entrée en scène. C'était grandiose. Seul l'allumeur de l'unique réverbère du pôle Nord et son confrère de l'unique réverbère du pôle Sud menaient des vies d'oisiveté et de nonchalance. Ils travaillaient 2 fois par an.
Okay.
Chapitre.
Okay. So these are the regions that we have already talked about and learned a little bit about. These are the regions that I have heard from 2 students who have already claimed these. If you have not yet chosen your region, please send me a text or email and let me know which one you'd like to choose to do your end of the year project on. The one we will see today is here in Provence-Alpes-Côte d'Azur. Côte d'Azur is what we call the French Riviera. All of these, this whole kind of coastal region from Menton, which is near the border of Italy, all the way through. Some say it stops at like Saint-Tropez. Others say it goes on here to Toulon. But you see there's all of these kind of like beach and coastal regions, lots of ports for like boats and things, cruise ships and stuff from the Mediterranean Sea here. So here's just kind of like one general picture. You've got like cities built all along here, so there's, you know, a lot of attraction in these places. Saint-Tropez is one that's well known, like destination, you know, popular tourist destination. Also Cannes, which is the, you know, host city of the movie, I just blanked on it, International Film Festival thing. And also Nice is like the biggest city of this region. Lots of things, you know, that it's known for, and like lots of reasons that people come to visit Nice very often. One of them is the festival, which is the Nice Festival, which coincides with Mardi Gras, and also like flowers. It's like a flower parade. It's just really beautiful, and you know, cool place to visit. You also may be familiar with Monaco. Now, Monaco is its own principality. It is not actually under French, you know, rule, but they do speak French there because it is just right there. It's this tiny little place, not very big at all, but they, here's the like palace, you know, they have the, they are ruled by a prince. Just really famous for like stars and like, you know, celebrities and stuff, but also just, you know, lots of people go there for just let's see, it's also pretty well known for, years ago there was the American actress Grace Kelly who married the Prince of Monaco, and so it was really just like a Cinderella type story where she was already an actress in the United States and then became a princess of this little area, or this little place, principality. And unfortunately, though, after, you know, living the happily ever after for probably about 30 years or so, then she died in a car accident, which was kind of sad, but it's still just kind of like an interesting, it's her children that are ruling now, so, or her son, you know, but anyway, really cool. So that's Côte d'Azur, and literally translates to Azure Coast, which I thought azure was like color blue, which kind of makes sense with all the Mediterranean Sea. Sorry, I clicked through that. Our famous French person for this week is Edith Piaf. She lived from 1915 to 1963, which was not super long actually. She was like 47 when she died. She's like probably world's most popular French singer, songwriter, and she was an actress, but she's mostly known for singing. Because of her diminutive stature, she was under 5 feet tall. Some places said 4'8", some said 4'10", but still pretty small. She got the nickname La Môme Piaf, which means little sparrow. So then she just kind of adopted that Piaf to be her stage name. She popularized the chanson, which is like the word for French ballads, and she was internationally famous, and even now she's still very well known. Her songs, again, that she wrote some of them, but her songs focused on love and loss, which maybe she was the Taylor Swift of her generation, but also sorrow, which I don't think Taylor Swift does. But she did kind of have a rough life, you know, whether what she was born into or choices or whatever. It was just kind of sad. But she wrote La Vie en Rose, which is literally life in pink, but it's kind of like life through rose-colored glasses. And that's kind of like a happier song. And then Non, je ne regrette rien, which literally means no, I don't regret anything. But considering like a lot of the, again, troubled kind of thing, circumstances in the offstage part of her life, when her last quote was loosely, everything you do in this life you have to pay for, which kind of sounds like some regret, but anyway, so that's Edith Piaf. Now for our quiz review. If you were asked, qu'est-ce que tu cherches au magasin? Qu'est-ce que tu cherches au magasin? Which means, What do you look for at the store? There are a few ways that you could answer this. Now, you could answer it obviously however you actually, what you actually look for in stores, depending on, whatever kind of store you're looking for. But here are just a few different ideas. Je cherche des soldes. Je cherche des soldes, which is the sales. I look for sales. Je cherche des baskets. Je cherche des baskets. I look for, tennis shoes, sneakers, whatever you call them. Je cherche des vêtements chic. Je cherche des vêtements chic. I look for stylish clothes. Or, je regarde seulement. Je regarde seulement, which is what I'm just looking. So I only look. So it's kind of like just go window shopping. Okay, next. You will be given, you'll have a picture and you'll have a caption that says how you're supposed to finish the sentence. And then you're given a subject. So the subject here is Manon. It is a girl's name. So how would you say she buys pants? Well, you'll have to make sure you go through your vocabulary. You've got verbs and you've got some, nouns, so that you actually had some phrases together. Remember that you've got to conjugate the verb to agree with the subject. So, Manon achète un pantalon. Manon achète un pantalon. She buys pants. Next. Giselle. Giselle is taking off her coat. So how would we say Giselle takes off her coat? Give you a second. Giselle enlève son manteau. Giselle enlève son manteau. Remember that the verbs from our unit last week were all had spelling changes of some kind. So make sure you review those, you're familiar with those so that you can conjugate them appropriately. You will need those accents. Next, we have Edouard. Edouard, he's trying on shoes. So how do we say Edouard tries on shoes? If you remember, the verb to try is essayer, and then shoes is des chaussures. Edouard essaye des chaussures. So try means the same thing whether you're talking about trying to do something, in which case it would be followed by the infinitive of some verb, or in this case, because it's followed by noun, then it's trying on these things. So especially because it's a noun, it's like a clothing item, so makes sense. Edouard essaye des chaussures. Nous walk in the departments. Remember that to walk is promener. That would be like walking a dog. But when you yourself are going for a walk, then remember that's the reflexive form of that verb. So it would be se promener when you are taking the walk. And then because it is reflexive, make sure that that reflexive pronoun agrees with the subject, which in this case is nous. And departments is rayon. So nous nous promenons dans les rayons. Nous nous promenons dans les rayons. So we walk in the departments. Okay, to pay at the cash register. We've got les Deschamps, which is a family. How do we say they pay at the cash register? Yep, payer is an easy French verb. So, les Deschamps payent à la casse. Les Deschamps payent à la casse. Remember that verb with the spelling change called shoe verbs, where it was the je, tu, il, elle, and il, elle, plural form of the verb get spelling changes. Okay, you will want to be familiar with these verbs. I'll give you a second as we look over them. We have acheter, appeler, célébrer, commencer, essayer, jeter, manger, préférer, s'ennuyer, and se promener. And now we'll go through, see if you know what these verbs mean. Acheter is to buy. Appeler is to call. Célébrer is to celebrate. Commencer, to begin, commence. Essayer, to try. Jeter, to throw. Manger, to eat. Préférer, to prefer. S'ennuyer, to be bored. And again, that is a reflexive verb. Se promener is to walk. We just did that one, or to go for a walk. Okay, so then as you see what all of these verbs mean, then we are going to fit them appropriately in each sentence. So I would encourage you to look over all of the sentences, make sure that you understand them. There are only like a couple of verbs that, well, it could fit here or it could fit there, but it's going to fit in one better. It's going to make more sense in one. So look over them, make sure you understand what it's asking for, and then fit it in the best place, because you will use each one only once. So we've got Lucas, des vêtements. So Lucas and clothes. In the next sentence, le garçon ne pas au match de basket. Le garçon ne pas au match de basket. So the boy does not do something at the basketball game. Next, vous allez au resto. Resto is an abbreviation for restaurant. So you, to go to the restaurant. And nous, dans le parc. Nous, so we, dans le parc, in the park. Henri, and son anniversaire. Henri, Henry, and he's doing something with his birthday. Camille, ses vieilles bandes dessinées. Camille is Camille. Ses vieilles bandes dessinées is her old comic books or comic strips. Marie et moi, nous. Marie et moi is Marie and I. Nous is we. Nos devoirs jeudi soir. Nos devoirs is our homework. Jeudi soir, Thursday night. Tu, de jouer de la guitare. You, something about playing the guitar. Loïc et moi, nous, so Loïc and I, we are doing something at Chez Raoul. Remember, chez is just like at this person's place, wherever you like know them from. Could be restaurant, could be their office, could be their home. Chez Raoul is Raoul's place. And then je, just got the J there, so that does let you know that the verb does start with a vowel. Une amie au téléphone. Une amie au téléphone is a friend on the phone. Remember, if you say mon ami, then it becomes more than just a regular friend. Okay, so as we go through to see which fits better, Lucas most likely is buying the clothes. So Lucas achète des vêtements. When you take the verb acheter, make sure you conjugate it correctly to agree with the subject. All right. Le garçon ne, what would he probably not do at a basketball game? Probably not going to call, probably not going to celebrate, or going to not celebrate, not going to start, try, throw, eat, prefer, be bored. Let's go with that one. Ne s'ennuie pas au match de basket. So he's not bored at the basketball game. Okay. Vous, what would you want to go to the restaurant? If you think restaurant, manger, but does that fit in a sentence? You eat to go to the restaurant. That doesn't really make sense. So let's say you prefer to go to the restaurant. Vous préférez aller au resto. Next, what would we do in the park? Yes. Nous nous promenons dans le parc. Again, making sure that reflexive verb agrees with the subject. Henri, easy one, célèbre son anniversaire. Camille, mostly because it's the only one that could possibly be thrown. Camille jette ses vieilles bandes dessinées. Okay. Marie et moi, what do we do with our homework Thursday night? Yeah, we don't call it, we don't try it. I mean, try it maybe, but there might be somewhere else that try could work. So we start our homework. Nous commençons nos devoirs jeudi soir. Okay, 2. That one we could probably try to play the guitar. Tu essaies de jouer de la guitare. Remember, once you have that one conjugated verb, the next one can be in the infinitive. Loïc et moi, we've got try or call left, and, we have to eat or to call. So we eat. Nous mangeons chez Raoul. Make sure you get that spelling. You review the cases where, the spelling changes have to be made. Again, this one to keep that je sound instead of g, which would be mangon if it didn't have the e. And then j'appelle une amie au téléphone. Remember that L is doubled. Okay, that is it for your quiz review. And now moving on, our vocabulary unit is about animals. So we have le dauphin, and if you aren't, I really hope you are, but I really encourage you to listen to the pronunciation on Quizlet and, speak along with that, repeat after that native speaker. So we have le dauphin, which is dolphin, la baleine, a whale, le poisson rouge, goldfish, le serpent, snake, le crocodile, crocodile, le hamster, hamster, la panthère, a panther, le léopard, leopard, le hérisson, it's a hedgehog, l'écureuil. L'écureuil is a squirrel, and both the English and the French give learners of those languages a hard time because I guess it's just an unusual or a difficult way to pronounce, or a different, difficult combination of letters. So we have squirrel, which if you ever look on YouTube and see foreigners trying to pronounce squirrel, it's pretty funny, or French people trying to pronounce squirrel. But l'écureuil, that E-U-I-L is not a sound that we have in English either, so they get us back, I guess, with that. Le paon. Le paon is a peacock. L'ours, do pronounce that S. L'ours is a bear. Le kangourou is a kangaroo. And Franklin la tortue. Franklin the turtle, la tortue. All right, la girafe, giraffe. La fourmi is an ant. Le cygne, swan. And le lapin is a rabbit. Okay, our verb this week is courir, which means to run. So you can repeat these. So je cours, tu cours, il, elle court, nous courons, vous courez, il, elle court, and our past participle is couru. Okay, to see these in use. Je cours au lycée. I run to the high school. Tu cours à la gare. Tu cours à la gare, you run to the train station. Il court à la pharmacie. Il court à la pharmacie, he runs to the pharmacy. Nous courons à l'hôpital. Nous courons à l'hôpital, yes, we run to the hospital. Vous courez au magasin. Vous courez au magasin. We run to the store. Elle court au travail. Elle court au travail. They run to work. And in the passé composé, hier, elle a couru à la bibliothèque. Hier, elle a couru à la bibliothèque. Yesterday, she ran to the library. Remember that la libraire is actually a bookstore, and la bibliothèque is a library. All right, and this week we're going to learn how to make comparisons of different kinds. So we've got, we want to say that something is more than another thing, we're going to use plus before the adjective and que after. The S is silent here. The only time you use plus is in addition. Or as a noun, I think. But anyway, so here, when we want to like make this like comparison, then it's going to be plus, then the adjective, and que. When you need to, if you need to like make the liaison with then an adjective that begins with a vowel, it's going to have the z sound. So plus intelligent que, for example. To state that something is less than another thing, then you'll use moins before the adjective and que after, and it'll still be the same z sound. So moins intelligent que. All right, so we have plus adjective que and moins adjective que. For example, Eric est plus grand que Michel. Eric is taller than Michael. Michel est moins grand que Eric. And you see we can contract for the vowel. Michael is shorter than Eric. Eric est plus fort que Michel. Eric is stronger than Michael. Or Michel est moins fort qu'Eric. It would be less strong. Michael is less strong than Eric here. Eric est plus âgé que Michel. Eric is older than Michael. Michel est moins âgé qu'Eric. It would not be like less old than, so we would just make the equivalent. Michael is younger than Eric. Moins âgé que. Okay. Remember the stress pronouns can be used after que. So we've got moi, toi, lui, elle, nous, vous, eux, and elle. Remember that lui is for him or he, elle for her or she, eux for them, guys, and then elle for girls. Janine est plus grande que moi. Janine is taller than I. Here, remember that adjectives agree with the noun that they modify. So Janine, being a girl, we're going to add the E to grand because grand here is being used to modify Janine. So Janine is taller than I. Janine est plus grande que moi. Marc est plus gentil que. Marc est plus gentil que. So he's nicer than they. All right, to say that things are equal or equal comparisons. So to form a comparison of equality, like something is as something else, in French we'll use aussi, adjective, and que. So it has the same setup, we're just changing out the modifier. So it's aussi is as or also, whatever the adjective and que. So je suis aussi grand que toi. Whoever the je is would decide, is it grand ou grande? So as if it's me speaking, je suis aussi grande que toi. I am as tall as you. Superlatives, the most or the least. Pierre est le plus intelligent de la classe. Here we added le in front to be the most intelligent. Le plus would be the most. André et Margot sont les plus petits du groupe. Here we have le plus petit, or in, because again it's agreeing with the plural subject here, the plural nouns. André et Margot sont les plus petits du groupe. André and Margot, so there's a girl and a guy, which is why we just keep it in the masculine plural form. They're the smallest in the group. The most small, if that helps to remember that. So we've got le, la, or le, depending on your noun. Plus or moins, or the most or the least, whatever your adjective is. And then this is going to now agree with the next word, the words following. So it'd either be du, de la, de l'apostrophe, or des. All right. Our adjective bon, which means good, it does have irregular comparative and superlative forms. So better and the best would be different words because it's irregular. So we've got all of our ways to just say good, which we've learned before, singular and plural, masculine, bon, bon, bonne, and bonne for feminine, singular and plural. For better, we'd say meilleur, which meilleur, 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 meilleur. We add a little bit more to that. Le meilleur would be the best. La meilleure would be the best, and les meilleurs of each one. Those you'll just need to memorize. For example, ce livre est bon. This book is good. Ce livre est meilleur que le film. This book is better than the movie or the film. Ce livre est le meilleur. This book is the best. Of course, that's what I'm talking about. Ce livre est le meilleur. That's facts. Okay, ces histoires sont bonnes. Ces histoires sont bonnes. These stories are good. Ces histoires sont meilleures que les films. These stories are better than the movies or better than the films. Ces histoires sont les meilleures. These stories are the best. No example for that. Same thing. Okay, adverbs though. The structure is the same with adverbs, but remember that adverbs do not have to agree. They don't agree with the noun because they don't modify the noun. They modify verbs or other adjectives. So, il marche plus lentement que Marie. He walks more slowly than Marie. Again, we have our plus, then our adverb, and then que. Here we have Louise étudie moins sérieusement que Louis. Louise studies less seriously than Louis. And then nous travaillons aussi rapidement que vous. We work as quickly as you. Same setup as we have learned already. But now, okay, so using these in examples. Elle lit le plus vite de la classe. This would be how to make the superlative of it. She reads the fastest in the class. Elodie et Céline apprennent le moins facilement du groupe. Elodie and Céline learn the least easily of the group. Le is always used in the superlative because the agreement is not made when we're working with adverbs. So, okay, bien is also has irregular comparative and superlative form. So bien means well. You did something well. Mieux is better. Le mieux is the best. For example, elle chante bien. She sings well. Elle chante mieux que Marie. She sings better than Marie. Elle chante le mieux de la classe. She sings the best in the class. So as a reminder, kind of a recap, bon, meilleur, le or la meilleure, meilleur are used with nouns. Bien, mieux, and le mieux are used with verbs. And that is the end of our lesson this week. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and enjoy your spring break. We'll see you week after next.